Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm your host. I'm Sir Stephen Topham Hatt, the third at your service. We're going to talk about the last bit of the team, my steam team that I mentioned in the last video. That will that will be eyes and ears everywhere. Anyway, we're going to talk about this very seriously as well because there's a news story coming in as it comes. While the other one, while the other one is going to be, it's all connected, right? Connections, right? People who I trust, who I am mostly connected with, right? You lot out there have to start waking up and smelling the coffee. Every morning you've got to think logically on this. The last piece of information I'm going to give you is the extra Steam team members that I never mentioned in the last video, right? To begin with, right? And then I'll change the subject. The last bit of the Steam team is Nia, Gina, obviously, Nia, Gina, and then you have Esther on top of that, Darcy as well, and we have quite a few engines. Then a lot of people are asking, why is Sam and Neil involved in this? And I look at Sam, and obviously it gives me a clue, obviously. This is why I said it's all connected. You can't break it, right? To all the police out there, the cops, I'm talking about in general as well, because this is all connected. You can't break it off. I have connections in the police, the railway, the road industry, all of it, vice versa, right? The police has a lot to do with it, right? The four main franchises in the world that I'm connected with is Murder She Wrote, Thomas the Tank, then you have The Bill, and then you have Star Trek. Ding ding. The one we're going to talk about is actually The Bill. Why? Because I know what the cops are doing as well. Right? The cops did something for me in the past before I was born. Right? Nobody will recognise it and watch it, or obviously. There's 32 seasons of The Bill. Right? We're gonna. This is why Thomas the Tank and The Bill are connected. Why? Murder She Wrote. Fletcher. So why we have J.B. Fletcher for? Ding ding. Then she was friends with Thompson and all the others. And then you have the Hatts on top of that. But it starts off with the Coopers. So you have my grandfather, George Henry Cooper, on my mother's side of the family. Ding ding. And then when people start to ask, there's very big questions. Why is the bill involved? Why is Thomas the Tank? Why is everything involved? It's all realistic. The problem is, I've seen a lot of things that you never have had time to sit down and watch and enjoy and learn and become, right? I want the new coppers, right? Not the bent, because I know what bent coppers do. And I know the new generation are coming in, trying to learn their stuff, while my railway industry is actually kicking off with their industry. And then you've got the biggest clue, the bill. Why is the bill so important? Wake up and smell of coffee on this one. This is for all the police officers around the UK. Think about it logically. Right? I've got something for you. Right? You helped me, I'm helping you now. Right? You want details. Right? This is the complete different side of my family that you hadn't even seen yet. Because you weren't born yet, you weren't raised yet, you maybe old police officers should know this. Right? The railway industry had problems with the cops long time ago. Right? Okay, Thomas the Tank broke the law and everything else, so the history has to repeat itself a little bit. But the thing is, the new cadets, new police officers, new everything, they all coming in, right? Left, right, and centre, right? But there's a connection. Gina. Why is Gina involved in all of this? Gina Gold, ding, ding, ding. Oh, P.C. Smith. Dale Smith, ding, ding. And then you got to work out the connections, people I know, trust, honesty, respect, right? Then people will say, "Oh God, we had a railway descendant working for the police." Ding ding, obviously, but there's a clue within the clue. Then I'm going to give you the biggest anagram solved in history, right? Everybody wants something, right? And they're going to get it on a silver platter without no problems. The Bill, Murder She Wrote, Thomas the Tank, and Star Trek are all connected to my family. And why? Surnames, names, and everything else. Everything that the police admires, right? The Bill is the obvious one I'm going to go through today. It's the news story, but it's actually going to tell you the truth. Why? Because it's all accuracy, all facts, all truth, right? Everybody starts off and say, look, right, I'm going to give out all the actors of the Bill to stand up. June Ackland, Jack Meadows, D.I. Nixon, and her daughter Abigail. Wake up and smell the coffee. Just for a moment, the actors who play it. Then you got D.I. Then you got P.C. Smith. Then you have Jack Meadows, right? We got all of them, right? Even Bob Quire. And then you have Dave Perkins. All of these contributed to help my family a lot, right? They start to look up and watch their own series now. They're probably feeling a lot of flashback and sitting back, laughing their heads off a little bit. And they're going to say, oh, thanks to D.I. Nixon, who's got promoted right now, ding ding, right? D.I. Nixon, right, had a daughter to Abigail, and Abigail wanted to know who her father was. And D.I. Nixon broke down in tears, right? Right? And told her daughter, and told, it's Glenn Weston. Well, rippy-doo-doo. Glenn Weston is actually my cousin by blood. And then people are starting to pick up little pieces like this and ask, why is D.I. Madsen involved? Oh, fuck. Excuse my language if you think I'm out of tone. D.I. Manson. Why is D.I. Manson involved? Oh, shit. Yeah. Neil Manson. Right? So Neil and Sam, one of my own locomotives and support team connections, bang! D.I. Manson. Who does D.I. Manson relate to? In my family, in all of history, right? Everybody's saying, first of all, let's get to the Weston family, right? You got Glenn Weston, right? Who had had what you would call normal, I would say, on a series that says, well, fell in love, blah, 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 going down, had Abigail, accidentally. Then, but even that, D.I. Nixon had a friend called Eva. Now, ding ding, does this ring the bell? Keep circulating it. Why are the Westons, the Mansons, are connected to the Bill? Then Jack Meadows said, I'm going on holiday in Norfolk. Wake up and smell the coffee, cops. Come on, it's reality. You're asking questions you want answers, you're getting these answers. So then while my family are working on the way out at the same time, ding ding ding, why is Manson involved? Why is D.I. Neil Manson involved? And then you've got to work out, it's a cover up, think about it. In reality, you're dealing with Robert Weston. Glenn Weston is his son, ding ding, which is my cousin. So you're dealing with my uncle Robert Weston, right? So in the day, when you go back and realise there's a cop called Robert Weston that saved a Manson family member, a Hatt member of the family. So with all that being processed, then it's all clicking in your head. Oh, shite. Then D.I. Manson is connected to my family. So when you think of Manson, Hatt, oh sugar, then you're gonna get all these facts written on black and white paper now because you're gonna write it all out, right? So when you got D.I. Nixon, Jack Meadows, Bob Quire, and all the other rest of the team of the bill, the story adds up. Then you're asking why did D.I. Neil Manson was in the bill? Manson, Manson. Then reverse it. You got the hats right in the bill. Then you got Kina Gold, so Kina was still around. So everything I'm doing is all there in black and white. This is why the cops can't mess around with it. It's like their foundation. So when they learn the police going to the cops, being a police officer, I went to see in Limerick, I went to see my great uncle Alex, and I saw his son's photograph as the police officer, may I add, and he's a Manson by blood. So D.I. Manson, ding ding, family connection. So there's loose connections. Connections are everywhere. So when you got Robert Weston and his son Glenn Weston, then you have everything under the plate. What did the police are doing right now? Repeating the same scenario in a different way. So they've got to move forward from season 32. Now, the Bill did 32 seasons of this, and you lot are like, drop jawed, and my family is still running the railway, and we still are. The only thing is, I'm giving you the evidence on a silver platter. God, we had our story told in front of us. Yes, Murder She Wrote is on my grandfather's, on my mother's side of the family story. So it's their story at the beginning, how the family quests were formed. You have the Mansons, you have the Hatts, you have the Coopers, you have everything. We all got connected. So when you're looking at me, you're looking at why has he come out with this other story instead of talking about the railway all the time. Railways are connected to the police, yes, but we have our connections, yes. We have our friends, colleagues, and family all in those departments. NHS, the Bill, and you've got the North Norfolk Railway on top. They're all connected. So when you think of D.I. Nixon and seeing how good role she did and everything else, I praise the Bill. The Jack Meadows, DCI Jack Meadows, I never forget him. Very good man he is. Then you got Dale Smith. Then I had PC Smith at the door. Ding ding. Right. Then these other colleagues come of his. And I caught them by the balls and said, don't mess around with me because I've got evidence you need. Now I'm passing that evidence to you to open up the Bill, Thomas the Tank, Murder She Wrote, and Star Trek is all connected to me. So if you work out piece by piece, 4 pieces are connected. Now we forged again. So work out what happened in the past that's happened again, but this time I'm telling you the story of my family, my friends, my connections, and all of that. Then, with that being said, in real life, Angela Weston, my cousin's ex-girlfriend, wife, if you would like to call it correctly, had a daughter called Eva. And that's the person that was in the bill. Best friends of D.I. Nixon. So, when you think about it, it's all been played out. Then Abigail gets upset because she knew about her father through her mother and all of that. and then it all comes together like a little big piece, chunk of puzzle piece, and everybody's asking, "What? This is happening as well?" I said, "It's all happening as well." So Glenn Weston, he's also a support engine of mine. Oh yeah, Glenn, the coffee pot engine, but he's also in the bill. Ding ding. So the bill and the railways are connected. So with the NHS on top, poof, you've got this master load that's coming. My weight is coming off a bit. The steam that's let off, giving you the answers, giving you the respect, the answers, and everything you want on a plate. I said the railway is one thing, the bill is the other, Murder She Wrote is the other, and Star Trek is the other. It's telling you past, present, and future. But there's only three pieces, right? But there has to be four to make the whole timeline work out correctly. So the future is all set in stone. The past is already dealt and dusted. So then you've got the present with the Norfolk Railway and the bill. Ding, ding, ding. So I know people, eyes and ears everywhere. I don't need to be in a police force or be at the railway all the time or do any NHS stuff because I've got knowledge. I've got information that you need to help you build up your foundation and build up your life, not just the other way round. But every time I move forward, time is ticking. So while the bill is telling you one story, then you've got Thomas the Tank that's telling you the other, and then you've got Murder She Wrote as the other, and then you've got Star Trek as the final piece. They all connected, right? And a lot of people think, why are they all magically coming alive in real life? You have to think about it. You know, Angel Weston and Glenn Weston and their daughters, and that's all connected. Then you got then a lot of people said that Robert Weston, who's actually a former police officer, may I add, um, saved my father's life. So without him, I would never had my father, Charles Topham Hatt II. So work it out. Why is D.I. Manson involved? There on a silver platter, just giving you all the answers. All in Norfolk, all everything. Three pieces become whole, or four pieces for that matter, because there was four men involved. So when you think about it, this is no game. This is no joke. The Westons, the Mansons, and the Hatts are all realistic. Real life people. I'm the Hat, but my father is Charles Topham Hatt and the Manson. Boof. So work it out. You got the bloodline and you got the connection. Now you've balanced out the Bill, the Thomas, the Railways, the full whack in one swing. Now ask the cops one thing they've been asking for. There's one thing they've been asking for, right? A lot of people that I know of, which I know, didn't even think of asking, are we connected? How we are connected? I said, look at yourselves and realize there's a bigger puzzle in place here. So when you think of me being around, Matthew Manson don't exist. Stephen Topham Hatt III does. Why? Because I chose my grandfather's side over my father's. Regardless that we are blood connected, I chose my grandfather's side because I was on the railway first. I didn't go to the police or anything else or NHS, right? Because every department has everything according to plan, but they all connected to Thomas the Tank and Friends and the Bill, everything. Murder She Wrote, Thing. Then you have Star Trek. Then that future is still unfolding today, and a lot of people are saying, Why do you know so much? I said it's my family, my friends, all in one bucket. So when people say, how do you know all of this? I said, I've been watching. Eyes and ears everywhere. So if I had a contact in the police force, as I say, like my like my cousin, if you would like to call him, because it's my let's say my great uncle Alex's son, right? Former police officer, right? Then you have Robert Reston, a former police officer. But you got to work out, why did his son get mentioned in the bill? And then it all adds up, the bill, Glenn Weston. Then look him up in Norfolk. You will find out it's the truth. And then it will all come together and it's all pieced in black and white. And everybody's thinking, what? You are connected to all of these four franchises? That's why they've been closing down one by one by one, except the Star Trek. Why? Because it's still writing the future out. So while the other three are still in play and all of that, you've got three pieces that are still in play. Murder She Wrote, J.B. Fletcher. Then Fletcher became P.C. Fletcher. So then it went into the bill. Then the bill then went into Tom's the Tank, which then we had a good cop and bad cop routine. And then that's where the police comes in. And I said, right, you just got the vital key, right, for all of it, right? But if you're going to move up the ladder, don't screw up. You've got a routine to follow, as they say. But in reality, it's all happening in truth. So when the bill finished at season 32, as it normally would be my time, from book 32 onwards, then all the things that you watched on the bill, ask yourself. I watched Thomas the Tank and the bill, so I got two of them, right? Then I watched Murder She Wrote. I got three pieces, right? I watched Star Trek. I got four pieces. So when you think of all those four pieces plus the Hatt family makes five. Bing, bing, bing. I'm connected it to all. I know what the police are up to. I know what the railways are up to. I know what everybody else is up to. Think about it. I don't dress up as a Hat because I am blood Hat, member of the family as well. I'm Stephen Topham Hat the third, the real McCoy. And when the police now got to evaluate this information, they're going to work out, oh shit. So when you have thinking that I don't know nothing what's going on at the police station as well, ask yourself the question. They're looking for somebody, aren't they? Which I cannot name, alright, because it's a private connection, right? So, a lot of people say the bill is connected to your family as well. Yes, D.I. Nixon. Yep. Then you got Jack Meadows. Then the obvious wanted to go on these Norfolk holidays. And then you really had to really look at to see, why is D.I. Manson involved? Duh, my father's double-rolled, as he is, with his normal personality is on top of that. Then you're thinking, oh God, three becomes whole. Let me rephrase this in the Smallville way so you get the hope side of it. Right? You have air, transference, and you have something else, right? Air, water, and earth, right? Whatever you want to name it, right? And it becomes one crystal with the whole knowledge, right? Bang! It does, right? I learned so much in my life. I gain knowledge without not asking questions. I get the answers from what I watch and deal with. The Bill, Thomas the Tank, Star Trek, and then you got Murder She Wrote. It's all connected. Right, the murder she wrote is the other story that I like to bring into the fold while I'm in it. It's all to do with Charles Manson and Angela Lansbury's life. So while you're all talking about cuckoo butts, excuse my language, then you're asking, like, why does he know all of this? I said, all the anagrams were all anagrammed for me only. And then when you work out the hats, know everything, I know what the cops are doing. Yes, they're supposed to do their job, but now they're learning the foundation of the early years as well. So they've got to do the early years, the modern years, and then add on, add a piece, add a piece. The railway's got to do the same. Early years first, modern years last. Always. Don't mess it up. Because when it's all set in stone, one person will click and say, you got a new story, you got the Bill, Thomas the Tank, Walter one, then you got the Murder She Wrote all at once. So you got Murder She Wrote, you got the Coopers, you got the Fletchers, and then you basically got some the Thompsons as well on top. Then you have my connections on top, which you have myself, the Hats, you got the Pies, the Mansons, and then you got the Jean family. Then you have all of these people. Payne as well on top. The Coopers, yes, obviously being the obvious one. Then when you put all of these four pieces of quests come together, the Hats are back. And we are back. At least at every angle. So when you watch all of this, it's all coming out to light. So when you think, I appreciate, I do not disrespect any one of you. I respect every one of you because you helped me. So every person that's helped me out there, the Bill cast, the Thomas the Tank, my family, and then you've got Star Trek cast as well, and you also got Murder She Wrote. So when you look at all four pieces, past, present, and future, both. So when the next thing comes along, you're asking who the hope is the key of the environment of this. And when you look at it again and again, the biggest piece of the detail, the bill. So when you think, why is Glenn Weston's name mentioned? Why is D.I. Manson mentioned? But he's got friends, connections like Jack Meadows, Gina Gold, and all that. And then you're adding them all up. Ding, 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 ding. Bang! I don't need to jump in unless there was a problem. Right? But there is a problem. So, did the bill mess up? They probably have. Because they didn't realise all of this is unfolding and realising, oh shit, we should be watching watching the Bill series for the cops. The cops work with the early years to begin with. Work it from season 1 to 32. Then the new generation comes in. They have to build a foundation up again and go up, up, up. So they're probably in second gen. But I still got connections on the inside. So when you think of people that we meet, connections, family, connect, colleagues and connections and so forth, all of it is all connected to all of it. So when you think that the NHS think we all gone cuckoo, no. This is why all the community is on my side all the time. Because they know I'm not wrong. I just really got to sort this little, what you got now is the full section. Unfortunately, you have to now play out the Thomas the Tank story all the way through from Wild and Arrestor's timeline to complete it all. Then it will go straight to starting point of the future, the new page turner. So it'd be what you need, and it will come to light. And the bill of the cops, the real cops, will end up looking up personalities to these individuals. Where the actors of the bill already giving you those personalities. So when you got all Angela Weston, Glenn Weston, and Abigail, and P.C. Smith, and all the others, Dale Smith, as they normally call them in the bill, and then they all connected, right? And then when I realised what was going on, it's not just one universe. That's all one universe. One timeline, one everything. Why? Murder She Wrote is the starting point. The Bill is the other. Thomas the Tank is the next. Then Star Trek is the final piece. Why? The future is already there in black and white. So while you lot all looking at it, you you got one giant big piece of a puzzle there. Big one now. There's only a little piece of puzzle for me. One more to deal with. Just to finalise it off. I just hate people asking questions when they know the answers if they have watched it. Glenn Weston is my cousin, right? And everything else. And then you've got D.I. Manson, who's actually Neil Manson. Then you've got to work out, no, it isn't. It's the early years. And then you've got to work out what, the Mansons are the Hatt, because we are blood related. So the actors that have played that part, ding, 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 is letting you know timeline has to continue. So the fact is, now the answers are all there, ding, ding, ding. What's now is going to happen unfoldedly. Just watch Wagner Wester's timeline. Then watch the bill for the cops, right? Because they will get the early years foundation underneath. And they will get the add-on, and then we will realise, oh shit. Yes, excuse my language if it feels like out of tone, but it makes you realise why the last details are very crucial. And the new story is about to begin because the third generation is now kicking in. So, with all that being said, you've got the cops that got this, this, and they said, what? They're going to write this down as fact because it's true. I will not bullshit by the bush. So then when I worked it out, I realised that D.I. Manson and D.I. Nixon and all of that all connected. Why? Because the Weston family and the Manson family / the Hatts. So work it out. So what's going to end up in your court? I just put the ball back in everybody's court. Right? Because they wanted the answer. Now they got it. So, in the end of the day, let me get on with my job that I was supposed to do and then work on yours. Or we could work together and solve the last piece. Because if you screw it up, so do I. If you screw up big time, the whole thing will explode. Then the whole thing won't add up properly again. Then you end up with more smaller pieces because you're ending up with the little gaps here, the little gap there, and the little gap there, and that one will never make sense. So the bill and the railways are connected for one reason. I'm giving you all the answers that everybody needs. So while my steam team is running on one end and the bill are doing the other, now they're going to wake up and smell the bloody damn coffee for once in their lives. And it's all damn true. Murder She Wrote, The Bill, Thomas the Tank, and Star Trek all connected. And why? Because it's all one timeline. So when you think about it, and when you've seen it, there was a lot of titles that came up in the bill that really should have startled you up. The Little Girl Lost, as example, which was part 1 and 2. I know what it is, but I'm not allowed to liberty to give it to you because it's private contact details. So, realistically, when it all comes to light, ask yourself, why is D.I. Nixon and D.I. Manson connected? And the answer is that D.I. Manson is the hat of the family. So when you think about it, you just got yourself White stuck in the middle with empty pages and got nowhere yet. So when you look at that and really realistically look at it, ask yourself the question: if it wasn't for the bill, or Star Trek, or Thomas the Tank, or Murder She Wrote, you won't get what you got. Your past, your present, and your future. Even other stories come up, like the Twin Towers before when they went down. They told you, they warned you. I don't know how many times, they told you 3 times already. Why in kids' cartoons, they told you that. And they said it was oh, you thought it was a hoax? Oh, 2001, bang, 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 bang. Hit you like that. Why? Because it was true. You know, even Ghostbusters, the movie, the very first one, the 1984 movie, told you the truth. So why? Just look at the movies, look at TV shows, look at everything. They're all anagrammed. And it's telling you specifically what you're looking for. The answers cannot always be found in front of you. You have to watch it to learn it. Once you learn it, you know where you stand. But if you don't do what I did, you'll be all screwed up by now. So the cops have to watch the bill. The Thomas Tank crew, the railway crew, which is my crew, have to watch all the railway stuff. So everything that's all Star Trek stuff is normally a future. And then you've got the Murder She Wrote, which is already done and dusted. Because it's already done. History. It's already set in motion. So where did all the magic go? It hasn't disappeared. Why? Because it's set in stone. So now you've got the Hats in full whack because of D.I. Manson as well as a Hat family member of the family. Then you've got to work out, oh crud, he knows a lot more than you can. Then you're looking for a young girl, right? I'm not going to be going into detail with this because I know where this is all going. It's a ghost case. It's a closed case right now, and everybody's trying to look for her, and everybody. Let's just. I know the background of this story, right, myself, and with people knowing this, I said, look, watch what you see, because sometimes the answers are right in front of you. If people got evidence, they will pass the buck. But that's it anyway. But in the end of the day, I'm just telling you the facts are already there. The truth is already there. I don't have to keep going left, right, and centre to try and help you out all the time. The answers have always been there. So I am now going to put in a description of all the programs that link to my family. And then you will end up realizing, oh, right. He knows every move we were going to make before we made it. So, realistically, let the future unfold. Let me get on with my job. Let me get back to the Norfolk Railway. Sort them out, because they will need a good kicking up the slammers. Because they need to get respected again. They want that respect, they have to earn it now. Because they won't go any further than what they have. So, what I told you, there's more to meet what Optimus Prime will always say, there's more than the eye meets the eye. Boof. So, so when you think about it, there's more than there meets the eye. So when you think about it, there's more to it than what you're already given. So when you got the Western family, the Manson family, you know, for Manson / Hats in the other department, just realise D.I. Manson is a Hat family member of the family. So I've been watching you all from day one. From the day I was born to the way I raised up. I watched you all without asking questions. All I had to do is get clues, answers. And I don't need to get the answers straight away. So it's all there in black and white. So if you think you got all of this all covered up, I said there's more to me than meets the eye. So when you think about it, ask yourself, Who do you approach to when you want help, when you want support, or you need guidance? You're going to need me again. Because every time there's always a lot of truth. In that, there's no conspiracies, there's no mess ups, it's just that you lot weren't paying attention. Now I'm giving you all the evidence on the plate saying fact one, the bill, fact two, murder she wrote, then you got Tom's Tank, fact three, then you got Star Trek, fact four. But there is more facts in there that's true. Logic, facts. And then when people think I've gone majorly cuckoo, I said, no, I'm not. Just ask every member of my family. They will tell you everything. All witnesses know about it. So all the community knows about it. So it's all there, all in there, black and white. To change this up, I'm going to say this now. I hope you learned something from this because there's a lot of details. Because now you've got the truth, I'm now going to put in the programs that are involved because it is important to know these things. So when you think in 2004 I lost my grandfather, did we lose somebody else in particular? Yes, I am connected to the movies as well. So work it out. Hope. Who did we lose on October the 10th, 2004? Christopher Reeve, Superman, Clark Kent. So when you think of Barbara Johnson, who's normally Barbara Reeve at the time, her son became the Man of Steel you all look up to as well. So there is hope for all of us. But you've got to let the story play out. Thank you very much.